Hi everybody, today I'll be comparing some brownings that I have, and as many of you probably, I like matching up pens with inks as colors. The first ink today is the Montblanc Toffee Brown, and the pen I'll be using is the Miguel de Cervantes Writer's Edition Montblanc. I'll show you the nib sizes where possible. I'll try to zoom in because it does affect the ink color shading on paper. So this is the medium nib. So I'll try the swatch first, and then we'll move on with the writing sample. So what I'll do is I'll pass them twice. And the paper I'm using is Tomo River paper. So the pen is the Montblanc. It's very flowing and it's quite wet. And nib is an 18K medium. Now here what I'll do is I'll do another small swatch using the pen itself, and the ink is the Montblanc Toffee Brown. As it dries up, some sheen starts coming out too in this ink. Some lighter and darker areas already being shown. So the next ink I'll be using is the Akkerman Sbrebrown ink, and the pen I usually match it up with is the Omas Paragon Arco bronze celluloid. And here the nib is a broad nib. Okay. So we'll first go on with the swatch. As you see, this ink has lighter shades of brown. As we go in, the second pass. So the ink here is the Waterman. I switched the order. It is Sbrebrown. I'll do the part using the pen, the swatch. And this is the Omas Paragon in Arco bronze. Celluloid, obviously. And this is an 18K broad nib. As you may see, the shading in this ink is something really nice. Going from the darker to the lighter part, and this slight reddish tone in this ink really combines well with this pen. The next ink I'll be using is the Herbin Terre. And the pen I usually combine it with is the Marlen Casa di Nettuno, which is a limited edition of 188 pens, and the nib here is again a medium. Incidentally, this is a steel nib, not a gold nib, a plated steel nib. So we'll go on with the swatch on this nib, this color of the ink. And as you may see, it is like more on the terracotta side. Some nice shades, though I tend to find the Herbin, this Herbin ink, and also the Pelikan Edelstein, we'll see later, a bit drier for my tastes. But on these pens it really works out well, obviously, then just find the right combination. So the pen is the Marlen Casa di Nettuno, meaning house, home of Neptune. It's a limited edition, and the nib is a steel medium with gold plate on it. We'll go on with the small in that box. As you may see, there are some differences from the swatch to the nibs, so I tried them both. And this ink is the Herbin Terre. The next ink we'll be seeing today is the Edelstein, Pelikan Edelstein, Smoky Quartz, and the pen I have inked up for the Edelstein is the Krusac Moby Legend, and here again got a steel nib, and this time it's a 1.5mm stub. So we start with the swatch. As you may see, this is it has hints of green, I think, in it too, as I may see. It's a solid. Nice shade. Let's see how the stub behaves with this ink. So this is a Krusac. I tend to use Pelikan Edelstein inks with, I don't know, maybe it's just me or my luck, with bigger nibs like broads or stubs, because I had a couple of instances where it like dries up in fine or extra fine nibs, and so I prefer using it with this type of nibs. This is the Legend Moby Dick, the steel 1.5 millimeter. Now it dries very fast, and this is the Pelikan, Edelstein, and the Smoky Quartz. The darkest of the lot till now. The next ink we'll be seeing is the Robert Oster African Gold, which is a lighter type of brown, and the pen I'll be using it with is the Marlen Key to Success, and this has a steel medium nib. Let's start with the swatch. As you may see, this is a very light ink, but has really nice shades in it. As you may see with the nib and pen, it will see much darker than the swatch. So this is you see the difference. Marlen Key to Success, and this is a medium steel nib. As you may see, the ink is much darker with the nib than with the swatch. Here it actually goes onto the golden yellowish tone, but when it will dry, it will become shady, like from the lighter gold to the slightly darker color you see here. So this is Robert Oster, and this is African Gold. The next ink we'll be using is a very dark brown, which is the Iroshizuku by Iroshizuku Yamaguri, and the pen I usually use it with is the Waterman 52, Canada 1924. These nibs are really nice. So we'll start with the swatch. As you may see, the Yamaguri is a very dark brown, but you'll see that with the swatch, its brownish colors will actually come out. However, I find that when I use it with the nib, it tends to be really dark, and the shades I see in the swatch don't usually come out that much with the pen itself. So this is the Waterman, as usual, being a Pilot Iroshizuku very flogging 52. This is the Canada 1924, and here we make the very bouncy nib. Look at this gushing ink down here. This ink is the Pilot Iroshizuku. There's the Yama Guri. So the last ink we'll be seeing today is the Montblanc Antoine de Saint Exupery, and the pen I usually ink it in is another Waterman's 52, and the East is one of the nibs I love writing with. I have this and a couple of Omas nibs which are beautiful. So we'll go with the swatch first. And you see it has tinges of gold magenta, let's say. It's a reddish type of brown. Very nice ink. Together with the Akkerman Sbrebrown, this is one of the browns I love because of the shades it has inside it. So let's see here. So this is the another Waterman 52. It really flows well in the snib, and look at the ink coming down. Look, it just brushes down the paper. And this is the Montblanc. Write it, Antoine. There's Exupery. This is Encre de dessert. So these were the samples, and now we give them some time to dry so that we'll see the final outcome of this sample video. So here are the samples in a bit of sunlight, and as you may see, the Montblanc Toffee brown is like the brown you would expect from a brown. Some shade, but not too much. Then you have the Akkerman, which has shades of orange, like patches inside. Then you've got the Herbin, Terre that is more on the terracotta side, even some tinges of like pink and red. Then you have the darkest of the lot, which is the Pelikan Edelstein Smoky Quartz, the Oster African Gold, which in the swatch is more yellowish, but as you may see, is more golden, as the name says, in the actual writing sample. And then you have the Iroshizuku, the darkest shades of Iroshizuku lines in the brown range, and it has, I see if I can try and get that, like tinges of green in it. It's nearly on the black side, but it has tinges of green. I'm trying to get out of the zoom. And then finally you have the Montblanc Antoine de Saint-Exupery Desert, which is a brownish, like reddish magenta brown in the swatch, but then in the writing sample it is a solid brown with some shades too. I'm trying to zoom to try and get out the effects. So as a recap, I finally tried to line up all the setup of today. We've got the Montblanc Miguel de Cervantes with the Montblanc Toffee brown. Then we've got the Omas Paragon Arco bronze with the Sbrebrown brown Akkerman ink. We've got the Marlen Casa de Nettuno inked up with the Herbin Terre. We've got the Krusac Legend Moby inked up with the Pelikan Edelstein Smoky Quartz. We've got the Marlen Key to Success with the Robert Oster African Gold. We've got the Waterman 52 Canada 1924 inked up with the pilot Iroshizuku Yama Guri. And finally the Waterman 52 inked up with the Montblanc Antoine de Saint-Exupery Desert. I hope this was a useful video, and as you may see, drying up the shades lighten up and more shades come out, like the Montblanc, like the terracotta shade on the side, the fantastic Sbrebrown shades here, the actual terracotta of Terre, the dark Pelikan Edelstein Smoky Quartz, the golden you see Robert Oster African Gold, the greenish to me brown Yama Guri, and the Montblanc on the desert with some magenta hints.